Jersey with the Griffin III on it. It's not just because they assumed it. Nike, which is now making the jerseys, they have a hot press in the backstage.
What?
Yes, it's the first time in the in the draft. They are hot pressing names on the back of new jerseys, so it's instant. That is what's going on here at the draft right now, as RG3 is holding up the new jersey in New York City and finding his way to Deion Sanders. Prom, take it away.
Do you understand that you're thought to be the savior of the Washington Redskins?
I understand that, but, you know, to whom much is given, much is expected, and I'm going to expect more out of myself and my teammates than any of the fans will, so we're looking to go succeed.
I talked to Mama and Grandma backstage, and they said, please tell us about the pinky promise.
The pinky promise, you know, you always tell them, you know, I promised my mom that I wouldn't get hurt, you know, nobody was going to catch me. I promised my grandmas that I would make it, and I'll put our name on a high level.
Who did you promise that you was going to rock those socks in a baby blue suit? Let us see it. Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's swag. You got to have nerve to wear that.
Yes, sir. You got to, but, you know, it's saying go catch your dream to all those kids who are out there dreaming big. You can still go catch it no matter what anybody says.
God bless you. Back to you, Rich.
Trent Richardson, will he be a Brown officially? Within a matter of moments, the Browns pick is in. Meanwhile, the Minnesota from 4th to 3rd overall coughed up a 4, 5, and 7 later on this weekend for the right to do that. They made the pick almost immediately. While we were away from break, the Minnesota Vikings, who were 4th on the clock, made their selection, so they did not trade out of the spot. You know, things can happen sometimes where they make a selection, hold on to it, see if there's another guy, a la Phillip Rivers, Eli Manning, and make a trade.
Trent Richardson, running back, Alabama.
We already talked about what I think he brings to the table in that division with that type of weather in November and December. What I also love about this kid is when you draft an Alabama player, you know what you're getting. Coach Saban coaches them hard, he coaches them well, and they come into the NFL prepared and ready to play at a high level day one.
The Browns desperately need somebody to put a charge in that dog pound fan base and get some things moving in the upward direction again for Cleveland.
The Cleveland Browns need him. Colt McCoy needs him. This organization is thirsty for this kind of talent. This guy and Adrian Peterson, they bring so many of the same qualities to the game. You're talking yards after contact. You're talking physical inside, outside running. The ability to take the ball the distance. What I like about Trent Richardson is we saw him as a durable, viable running back at Alabama playing in a physical conference, and he's going to play in a physical conference now that he's in the AFC North playing for the Cleveland Browns. I like what this brings.
The one thing's for sure is the Browns have Trent Richardson in their back pocket with another pick tonight. Later on, as the commissioner gives him a bear hug on the stage, and this guy is the beast. Right, Mike?
He is a beast. He's a Florida boy. I spent a lot of time with him last night, man. And I'll tell you what, this guy is a 2009 Class 2A state weightlifting champion. He's a strong player. And that's what they love out of Peyton Hillis. He was a strong player. So even Peyton Hillis with a little more speed to get up the field. They'll love him.
And while we're watching Trent Richardson on the stage and waiting for the commissioner to then go back to the podium and announce Minnesota's draft pick, which has already been in for a while, we should note that Tampa Bay is no longer on the clock, not because they've made their selection, but Jacksonville is now on it.
That tells you 2 picks, basically.
What do you got?
Well, it tells you that Jacksonville went from 7 to 5 to get the wide receiver Blackman, and the only way they could do that is if Minnesota didn't take Blackman. So it's Khalil or Claiborne right here.
Go ahead, Prime.
Trent, did you expect to go this way?
I really can't explain it right now, but I didn't expect, you know, to go this high. I mean, but I work hard in what I do, man. So make it this far, it's a blessing. There's a lot of faith and a lot of hope out there for a lot of other people, you know, just to let them know that, hey, I never gave up. Due to injury, I almost, you know, not be able to run again, and I kept my faith.
Who do you have with you, and what does this mean to them?
I have my little girls with me. This is Ella Vera, she's my youngest, and she's 3. And this is Tulia, and she's my oldest, and she's 5. And to them, it means that they never had to go through what their daddy had to go through when they're getting raised, and as far as that, going through living hard time and going through hard times. I see my mama work 2 or 3 jobs at one time, and she was battling with cancer the whole time, so they don't never have to deal with that.
Amen. You take care, man. Best wishes. Back to you, Rich.
Showing there's a log jam. 4 and 5 have already been selected. 6 is on the clock. Let's hear the Vikings pick at 4 and end that
With
suspense.
the 4th pick in the 2012 NFL Draft, the Minnesota Vikings select Matt Khalil, tackle, USC.
So Matt Khalil, there he is, the brother of Ryan Khalil. The Rams were on the clock, but we're showing you the Cowboys war room, hugging and kissing and shaking hands and on the phone for a reason.
Wide receiver, Oklahoma State.
It's a great pick. They have to give that young quarterback an opportunity. Last year we did a Thursday night game. They had nobody to throw the football to. Their offensive line was decimated. Now all of a sudden there's hope. Because Justin Blackman, as we're going to show you, watch him up top with a slant. This is a kid that attacks defenders. He attacks the football. He breaks tackles. It's not that he's nifty, but he's powerful. He's explosive. He attacks defenders. Again, little slant route. Now, watch him with the ball in his hands. Spin move, maybe that's a little bit better than people thought at 6'1", 210 versus press coverage. As good as anybody I've ever seen at elevating in college football, going over Leonard Johnson and finding the football. Big-bodied receiver, great block. Takes away that right knee in the open field, allows a big play. And then again, catch the football. Here's the problem. Turn that one into a touchback. Every once in a while, he's got a little bit.
Now, Coach, who reminds me of is this guy right here, Coach. When I do a comparison to Justin Blackman and why I call him a beast, he starts looking at like a King Nix and RgIII Johnson. This guy can go up and get the football. He will be where he needs to be, and no matter whatever way down the road ball, he'll go up in the air and get it.
Michael, what I like about it is that he has a guy in the locker room in Pocket Hercules that's going to shoulder the load. They're not going to ask him to carry the franchise. He can be an accessory right now, a very expensive accessory, a much-needed accessory. I like what this kid brings to the table. His character, everything about him screams superstar. And now you get to be around a guy like MJD who will teach you how to be a pro off the field. And hopefully he could bring along Blaine Gabbert and instill that confidence that you talk about a quarterback needs to have in the receiver. They made their selection. Again, they gave up a second-round choice to the St. Louis Rams, who have now moved down from the 2 spot to the 6 spot down to the 14 spot. And for that, they got a first-round pick next year, a first-round pick the following year after that, a second-round pick this year, and now with this trade, a third second-round pick for the St. Louis Rams, who will pick 14th overall tonight. As for Dallas, this guy is somebody who they clearly wanted, because after this pick, if you're a Cowboy fan, smoke them if you got them. Their next pick will be 81st overall late tomorrow night. Mike, you think it's the cornerback?
Well, a couple things here. First of all, one of the main reasons I think the Dallas Cowboys haven't gotten to a Super Bowl in the last 7 or 8 years is the safety position. It's either Mark Barron or Maurice Claiborne, but it's a defensive back.
St. Louis has traded the 6th pick to Dallas. With the 6th pick in the 2012 NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys select Maurice Claiborne, defensive back, LSU.
He's got the best ball skills of any corner coming out in the last several years. One of the most significant skills lacking at the NFL level for corners is the ability to track the football in the air and go catch it. We're going to show you a tape. 6-foot corner with 4.4 speed. He can play press. He can play off.
And he is having a moment with his mom right now that he will never forget.
Maurice Claiborne is a special corner. The only issue I ever have with him on tape is he's on the ground a little bit too much in transition. It looks like he slips and falls. I'm just a little worried about whether he has tight ankles or not. But outside of that, he's as clean as it gets. Now, here's the XO I talked about. Up top, watch his zone eyes, okay? Little high in his pedal. Tracks the quarterback. Now he becomes the wide receiver. Goes up over makes the catch. Press man. Again, a little bit high, but he's so good he gets away with the technique. Now, receiver looks, I look. Now I'm going to go catch the football. That's special. Gets Alabama. Ball's in the air. Look at the acceleration to break the pass up. Gets the underneath hip, rips the ball away. And like Patrick Peterson, another LSU corner drafted in the first round 1 year ago, look at his physical skill set in the return game. So this is a rare athlete. We've now seen demonstrative trades where teams have moved up to get the player they covet.
And the Lexus War Room shows the Dallas Cowboys enjoying the moment here in Radio City Music Hall and Morris Claiborne out there on the stage here in New York City.
Sunday. 7th pick in the 2012 NFL Draft, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Mark Barron, defensive back, Alabama.
Boy, he's had a solid pick. I love this kid because scouts talk about floors and ceilings, and this kid's floor and his ceiling is almost the same thing. Up all these extra picks. What did Jacksonville give up to get Blackman? A fourth?
Yeah, 101st overall, yes,
They
sir.
gave a fourth-round pick to get the best receiver in the draft and help protect their young quarterback. Kudos to Jacksonville. All of a sudden, Dallas moves up. What do they get? The best corner in the draft. Boy, did they need him.
They did give up a 2. The next pick is not until late tomorrow night.
Remember what I said about the number 2 pick, RgIII, and what they gave up? If he turns into who you think he is, it doesn't matter.
Yep.
Go get him.
Here comes the
8th pick in the 2012 NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins select Ryan Tannehill, quarterback, Texas A&M. Keekly, linebacker, Boston College.
There you go, Mike. I love that kid.
There were 2 really logical players here. I call him Clark Kent, who happens to turn into Superman on Saturdays and Sundays. Remember what I said about Mark Barron? You can replicate all of it on this kid. He's one of the cleanest players in this draft. His instincts and his pass coverage ability might be the best pass coverage of any linebacker I've seen come out. There he is in Cincinnati, Ohio.
With his family, one of the few people not here at Radio City Music Hall. Shane Daly, Buddy Nix, and the rest of the brass in Buffalo.
Stephon Gilmore, defense in the 2012 NFL Draft. The Kansas City Chiefs select Dontari Poe, nose tackle, Memphis.
Michael Lombardi, I think we heard a burst of applause here, which normally means a team that's close to this facility has made a trade. What do you have?
Well, Rich, it looks like the Philadelphia Eagles, who they've liked Fletcher Cox all along, never thought he could slip this far down, are prepared to make a trade to go get the guy that they've wanted, Fletcher Cox. Seattle's on the clock, and they're 2 right side by side, so they'll be able to make this fairly quickly, Jason.